everyone, it's Jay, and today we're going to bring you its new tier list for Diablo 4 Season 4. I've played every class, I've tried multiple builds within classes, and I'm here to bring you the inside scoop about what you should be playing and why. So we're going to start off easy, nothing too hot. We're going to talk about the Druid. Now, kind of a disclaimer with the Druid, I've played him the least, and the reason for that is actually because of the community. The community just overall believes it's the weakest class this season. Druid has not received any love from Blizzard. It is really sad because I really do love the Druid, and I wish the Druid was performing better because doing things like playing Wear NATO and stuff like that is really fun. But I played a pulverized Druid up to around level 60 and I just was not having fun. It was extremely slow and I really just felt like it was a waste of time when, in that time I went 0 to 60 on the Druid. I probably could have gone 0 to 100 on a Barb. So it just feels like, you're wasting your resources and time for a class that's just not in a place to be played, in my opinion. So my hot take is that the Druid is really garbage tier and that you need a lot to even be pushing pit 50 with this guy. And so, yeah, I just really don't think you should be playing Druid in Season 4. Hopefully Blizzard does give him some love, but to kind of round out my pick, I think he's on a scale of 1 to 5. I think he's like a 2 on survivability. I think he's a 5 on speedrunning. I think he's a 5 on where he fits against the other classes. I think he's a 5 on gear that he needs. Like Tempest Roar is not an easy unique to get. You have to get it. There's no choice. You have to get Tempest Roar. So yeah, he's sitting down here. Next we'll go the Sorcerer. Now, this is probably my hottest take of the season. I think Sorcerer is hot ass. I do not think it's fun to play. I do not think it's good. I think it's by far the most boring class to play. I'd rather be smacking rocks with the Druid. Now, it's just so much stronger than the Druid. There's no way I can put it below it. But let me kind of explain why I think the Sorcerer is C tier and why a lot of people disagree with me. So first, let's talk about why people disagree with me and why people put Sorcerer so high. The reason is the Sorcerer has stuff like Fire Bolts and Frozen Orb that just, and like Lightning Ball or whatever, that just really are amazing at speed farming. Like, if you're trying to just go 0 to 100, it's probably the best class. Like, it's so fast. Like, Blizzard is insane for speed farming. But listen, there's a couple things. There's a lot of endgame content revolving around bosses. Let's talk about it. You have Capstone Dungeon 1, Capstone Dungeon 2. We have every pit level has a boss. We have all of the bossing that you do at the end. We have Uber Lilith. We have all the tormented bosses. All of that content, Sorcerer sucks at. I swear to you, I had a cracked out Frozen Orb build, and it took me like 10 minutes to kill like a pit 50 boss. It's like, it's unplayable in my opinion. The bossing is so bad. It brings the class down so much for me because I love bossing. I love fighting Uber Lilith. I love fighting these tormented bosses, and the Sorcerer is not built for that. So if that's what you like, I really don't recommend the Sorcerer. She is really good at speed farming, like I said, and I'm just going to have to put her in C tier for myself. Next, we have the Necromancer, okay? Now, Necromancer, it depends what you want to talk about with this Necromancer, because in some terms the Necromancer is S, some terms it's kind of B. So I'll just kind of talk about what changes it for me. So let's talk about why it would be S tier first of all. the Necromancer is pushing higher pit levels than any other class. It's doing some insane things with shadow minions, and we've seen Macro Boy do some crazy stuff like one-shotting Uber Lilith with Bone Prison. But what I will say about it is it's extremely boring. So if you don't find it boring, I mean, I think it would be S tier. I'm going to have to put a B for me. It's so good. It's so strong. I really did enjoy it because I played the Necromancer after I played Rogue. And Rogue, I had so much APM, my like wrists were starting to hurt. With Necromancer, I can literally be doing whatever I want. I'm not even playing the game. My minions are just killing everything. Like, you can literally level up in Helltide and just sit at the boss and do nothing. Your minions will just kill stuff, and other people will kill stuff, and you'll just level up. It's super simple. It is so nice that way, but I just find it so boring. It's so boring. Minions are so boring. I don't get how people love it. Why people were crying for it. In Season 2, I was playing Bone Spear Necro. That was way more fun. I was hitting Uber Lilith for like hundreds of millions, and like Bone Spear is so fun. Bone Spear is still a good speed farming guide, but it's just not what it used to be. You can't really push pit with Bone Spear, so shadow minions are really where you have to go, and if you do enjoy that playstyle, like I said, it's definitely an S tier. But for me, I don't enjoy it that much, so I'm gonna have to put it in B tier. Now, the good old Rogue. Now, Rogue, honestly, I would put Rogue S tier, but there's two reasons I don't. So let's talk about the bad first. The first reason I don't put Rogue S tier, I feel like she's just everyone says this, but I'll say it as well. She's harder to play with less outputs. Like, you have to put in 10 times the work of a Barbarian, and you're getting about 75% of the output. So it's like, why would I want to put more work for less return? It's like lower reward, higher risk type thing. And that feels really bad. And I didn't really want to believe it to be true, but I mean, I put a lot of hours on my Rogue, and I do have to say this is true. The other thing is, man, the most viable build right now, what basically everyone is playing, the only high pits that I've reached are with Heartseeker Rogue. And man, if you have wrist problems at all, I promise you, don't play Heartseeker. You are literally clicking your mouse 100 times a second because you just have to spam your basic ability. You're just spamming it. That's all you do. Literally, your other skills don't even matter in Rogue. You're just trying to hit Heartseeker. Like, you'll throw caltrops down or whatever for the vulnerable and like poison traps, but you're really just you're right clicking all day long. And I enjoyed it. It was definitely one of the funnest builds I've played, but it is heavy on the wrist for sure. So yeah, lots of APM, not as much output for all the work you're putting in. So, but if you're okay with the APM and you're okay with being not the best class in the game, like Necro and Barb just have higher output, then, play Rogue. Rogue is so fun. One of the other issues I have with Rogue is there's no build diversity. It's like Heartseeker or dead, really. Like Woody's trying to play like Flurry, and it's just so bad. And there's no melee options. Like Twisting Blades is literally dog tier. So yeah, it needs more build variety, and it needs to have higher output if it takes more skills. So yeah, that's how I feel about Rogue. And Daddy Barbarian. It feels so good to have Barb on top. I really think this is how it should be. I think the game is really healthy when Barbs are on top, in my opinion. Just look at it. Barbs were legit D tier in Season 2. That season was not happy for the community. And I really feel that when Barbs are on top, the game does better. People enjoy the game more. I mean, who doesn't love to play Barb? And not only that, not only is Barb the best class in the game, has pushed the highest pits, has the craziest damage potential, but they have so much build diversity. Like you can play Bash, which is the most popular build in the game, right? Like Bleed Bash, that's like doing billions of damage. You can play like Do Not Hit Me Barb, like Thorns Barb, where you're fully based on just pulling everything into you, and when they attack you, they just die. You have Double Swing Dust Devils, which is so much fun. It's so fast. Like it's not as good as Pushing Pit, but 0 to 100 I think is the best build in the game. Then you have Whirlwind Dust Devils, which is like the quintessential Barbarian build, and like sure it's not as strong as Double Swing or Bash or whatever, but like you can speed farm content super fun, and Whirlwind is just hella fun. So like so much health. Then there's even like some different leveling builds you can do. You can play Upheaval if you really like that. Obviously you have to transition off, but like for the first half of your levels you can play Upheaval. Like Barb is in such a healthy spot. I'm just really worried that Blizzard thinks they're too healthy and gonna nerf them, and I would way rather see them buff the other classes rather than nerf Barb. I think Barb is so healthy and I don't want them to touch it. And so this is my tier list. We have Barb into Rogue, into Necro, into Sorc, into Sad Druid. Let me know down in the comments below if you agree or disagree, and let me know your hot takes. But other than that, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please drop a subscription or a like. It really does help out the channel a lot, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.